Okay, in Chapter 9, we're going to be talking about hypothesis testing. 9.1, just what it is and how to set them up. Basically, a hypothesis is whatever stat or claim that somebody has, we think it's off. Maybe it's a little higher or lower, so we're going to test it out. So the wording for what we're doing can appear confusing, but really, we're just testing somebody's claim. So null and alternative hypotheses. Yeah, I said that. A study published in the Journal of the Air and Waste Management Association reported that the mean amount of particle matter produced by cars and light trucks in an urban setting is 35 milligrams of PM per mile of travel. Suppose that a new engine design is proposed to reduce this amount in the air. There's two possible outcomes. Either the new design will reduce the level of PM or it will not. These are called hypotheses. So first of all, the null is the original claim. The notation for null hypothesis is an H with a little O. This will always be the notation for the null hypothesis, their claim. Then our claim is, maybe we can reduce this with our new design. H, the sub 1 under it stands for alternative hypothesis. So definition and notation. The null hypothesis about a parameter states that the parameter is equal to a specific value. We are going to be doing hypothesis tests around a population mean. So the null will always be that it's equal to whatever the population mean that they claim. And then our alternate hypothesis will state, hey, we believe it's less than, or we believe it's greater than that value, or we believe it's not equal to that value. So there's three types of hypothesis tests that we'll be creating. Alternatively, if we think that the parameter, the population mean, is really less than what's stated, that makes it this less than sign and a left-tailed test. So our alternative hypothesis will be that the mean is less than that. Or you could have a right-tailed test, which means we're claiming that the parameter is really greater than what they say. So our alternative hypothesis will be that the mean is actually greater than that. Or a two-tailed test is when we claim that it's not equal. So it's just different. We're not going to say it's lower or higher. It's just not equal to what they claim. So alternatively, it's a not equal sign, and it makes it a two-tailed test. So three different types of tests. The left and right tail are one-tailed, and this is two-tailed because it's either higher or lower. So let's do an example of setting up one of these three type tests. So for example, boxes of a certain kind of cereal are labeled that they contain 20 ounces. An inspector thinks the mean weight may be less than that. We're going to state the null and alternative hypothesis. The null hypothesis, notation H sub 0, is that the mean weight is equal to 20 ounces. The null will always be equal to. But this inspector alternately says, hey, no, we think it's less than this. So the alternative hypothesis will be, we think it's less than the 20 that they claim. These numbers will always be equal. The null will always be equal, and these will be the same 20. So less than makes it a left-tailed test. We're going to do it again. We're setting up a type of hypothesis test. Last year, the mean monthly rent for an apartment in a certain city was $800. A real estate agent that believes that the mean rate is higher this year. State the null and alternative hypothesis. The null is equal to the population mean of 800. But the agent says alternately this is going to be higher this year, greater than 800, which makes it a right-tailed test. Example 3, another setting up a hypothesis test. Scores on a standardized test have a mean of 70. Some modifications are made to the test, and an educator believes that the mean may have changed. State the null and alternative hypothesis. The null is always the mean is equal to the original claim. Alternately, we believe it's changed. That's the claim. Changed does not say greater than or less than. It's changed, different, not equal to, which makes it a two-tailed test. So two-tailed has to be words like different, not equal, changed. No indication of greater or less than, just that it's not that anymore.